got? So many strange faces.
My friend. Certainly. Just take your time. Safe travels. Of course. Safe travels.
What?
Oh my, now who is this? I've seen it. My wares it is you want to see. I promise you, they'll bring you glee. I've seen this. My wares it is you want to see. I promise you, they'll bring you glee.
Hello.
If it's clam and fish you seek, then come and take.
Hammers, looking for steel. Everything for the path-abiding soldier. Come again.
Monsieur? Yes? Monsieur?
Some people just don't know their path.
And if I am, what is it to you? Listen, help. Who are you, Lorem Waterblade reincarnated? Aye, everyone wants money, it's all that keeps... I shouldn't talk like this to you. But still, please, just let me be. Just go.
Some people don't know.
Show me. Now look at that. I have to admit I'm surprised. How would you like to be rewarded? Fine. Anything else? If not, please leave me to my work. Till next time. Maybe.
Work.
What blessed, my son? Walk blessed.
Walk blessed. Now, look at that. Controversial
Yes?
truth? So, how are you?
Fine.
Hello. Hungry for arcane?
Yes?
Friends of path-abiding magic.
Yeah? No, I just put them out for you to look at. Tell me what you need, and be quick about it. Walk blessed.
Monsieur?
By that, they have not only defiled the grandeur of the merciful Golden Queen herself, but also that of the Lightborn Chaldron, keeper of the righteous, the eternal timeless. Even though the guards of Al-Rashim, with an exemplary act bravery, prevented their attack, their lies have already poisoned. Of those without virtue. Murderers count.
Yeah? What do you want?
So-called.
Hey, wait a moment. You're the
No, I just put them out for you to look at. Tell me what you need, and be quick about it. Walk blessed.
Yes?
Greetings.
That? By Malthus, where did you get that? You didn't buy it from that cutthroat, did you? Please, let me see it. I need to know it's real. Aye, of course. By the name of the sun, yes, that's hers. And Vera was right. I don't know why you're doing this, but thank you. This really means a lot. What? No, Bella, she was my daughter. She left us one moon's turn and a day ago now. Flesh maggots, she... A week before we found out, she had met this young man, you know? Oh, you should have seen her. There was so much life in her, so much joy. And then, all of a sudden... No, it just isn't fair. You did. I'm sorry to hear that. She was a poet, you know? She could play the lute and sing like no other. And she even taught herself how to write. Vera, my companion, and I, we thought she would one day travel through the lands and become a bard. What am I saying? I'm sure you have better things to do than listen to me grieving. But in case you want to know how her loot ended up in that bastard's hands, we had debts. And only 3 weeks after Bella left us, a Duneville caravan that carried a year's load of iron for us got robbed. But of course, neither that nor our loss made any difference to that cutthroat golfer, and he threatened to get me thrown into jail if I wouldn't pay by the first day of Star Summer Night. Well, I suppose you can connect the dots for yourself. The loot was precious, and we didn't have a choice. But still, it felt like selling a part of her. And until now, we had nothing left of her, save for the casket. Yes, that's very generous of you, really. Thank you. Her treasure chest, that's what she called it. She kept her songs and poems in there, and she would never show anything to anyone unless she considered it perfect. You know how poets are. And now she's gone, and only she knows how to open the casket. Aye, I should. But the casket was a present I made for her myself, and I made the lock special. It's a complicated mechanism, but simply put, there are 4 bolts that need to be pushed in a certain order, and only then will it open. Of course, I could smash it, but who knows what would happen to her things. If I somehow destroyed them, I would never forgive myself. Yes, left, right, left, down. But that's not all. The bolts have to be pushed 12 times. Aye, I'm quite sure she did. Vera and I have ideas as to where, but at the moment I can't afford to spend a single day without work. Look, you were very generous to me. I know it's a lot to ask for, but do you think you could help us find the other hints? Ah, thank you. I'm not asking this lightly, but you seem like a good fellow, and that is rare these days. Bella loved this book of poetry, The Red Ballads, and there was one particular edition she always rented from the Ark Library. I hardly have any coin left to borrow it, but I'm almost sure she left a hint there. Aye, there was a place Bella always visited when she had spare time. She worked on her poems there, I think. It's not far from the harbour. Do you have a map? There. If she left another clue, it must have been there. Thank you. I mean it. I will pray for you.
What?
Yes?
What are you doing? Greetings!
It just doesn't work.
Yes?
No matter how hard I try. Yes. And then...
Between
Greetings!
and excretion. Between
This is holy ground, Outlander. You don't belong here.
Yes. Yes, that just might work.
Let's hope he knows what he's doing.
Yes.
An outlander. What are you doing in this part of the city?
Hold on. Magister has been looking for you. What's that? I don't know.
Oh, you're here.
What?
I thought you were in the city.
No, the Archmagister ordered me back. Feels good to be here, to be honest. The funerals. I could have done without them, though.
I don't doubt.
Blazes, I just can't bloody
I
believe
still
it.
can't believe that really happened. Brother Yarrow, he was such a good man.
I don't think the Red Madness cares much about that.
Probably not, no. I wonder how it happens, the infection.
What do you mean?
Well, the red eyes and the obvious madness only happen in the last stages of a disease. What happens before that?
Now, if it isn't the prodigy, well...
Is afflicted.
Why? Scared you've caught?
Yes, I know. She's already told me everything. Good work. Even though part of her report seemed to be a bit enthusiastic. But I'll leave the judgment to Aranthiel. He wants to talk to you anyway. Seems you've caught his interest.
That's not what I mean. Her death broke him.
Didn't I tell you that already? He's the highly esteemed, holy Grand Master of the Order. Tilor Aranthiel, son of Lorius the First, praised be his name. An old legend, risen from the dead, or something like that.
It was Yarrow's grief, his instability, that made...
Oh yes? Well then listen carefully. Lucy probably hasn't told you, but the ritual was as dangerous for her as it was for you. In other words, she and all of us have risked a lot for your healing. Also, she seems to see something special in you. Heck no, he is in the Emporium of the Temple. Ah yes, before I forget, my Dame Lucy has left a token of gratitude for you. It's your choice. Do you want a book, an old map, or a bag of pennies? Very well, now get a move on. I'm sure we'll talk again later.
This is holy ground, Outlander. You do not belong here.
It is a suspicion, Teela. And to send an entire division across the sea because of a suspicion is madness.
We need to find out who sent the mercenaries. This Pegast said that they were after the Signet Stone, and if they succeed in getting hold of it next time, then the Black Guardian alone knows how to stop the cycle.
The cycle. Listening to you talk almost makes me forget that all this fuss here is merely based on some bad dreams you and your Neremese friends had.
The threat is real. Deny it as much as you like, but deep inside, you feel it as much as I do.
Teela, you're a commander, and a commander doesn't care about feelings, but about facts. You have made this mistake before, Tilor. Back then in Kira.
Natara,
Oh, no.
the mission will happen. I'm sorry.
You have a visitor.
So, you are the prodigy everyone is talking about. Interesting. I am Tilor Aranthia, son of Lorius I and Grand Master of the Order, and I'm honored to meet you. What is your name? Yes, and I will come straight to the point. You are here because I believe that you are special. Humanity faces a threat that needs to be stopped, and to achieve this, you are indispensable. Among other things, yes. I do not need to explain to you that the present situation on Vin is chaotic. The wars, the living dead, common people who are losing their minds, to name only the most obvious. What most people are not aware of is the connection between these events. You, however, have encountered it, as have I. I do, and I will explain everything to you. What it means, who we are, and what your part in all of this is. Come, follow me. Maybe you already know who I am. My entire life, I served the gods who ruled Vin, until their death 2 years ago. What you probably do not know is that the one responsible for their death is my son, Narazul Aranthia. He hated the Lightborn because he believed that they robbed mankind of their right to freedom, so he strived to overthrow them. He found followers, formed an army and declared war on them, and thus on me, a servant of the Lightborn as well. It all ended in a battle 30 years ago, which Narazul won. He killed every single survivor except for me, and locked me in a dungeon on Nerim. I still do not know why he spared me. There were circumstances favoring the development, but it's a long story which we won't discuss now. Good question. Because at the moment stability is the highest good, even more so considering what we are facing. The rulers of Kira and Kile both made the mistake to acknowledge the death of the gods to their people, and the civil wars that followed in their countries are evidence of the chaos that such a revelation entails. Enderal is the cradle of the Order of the Gods, the epitome of theocracy. It is unthinkable what would happen if we confirmed these rumors. I am sure you understand this. Maybe when all this is over that will change, but for now it is imperative that we deny all rumors of that kind. Yes, after more than 30 years, when the death of the gods made the magic around the prison disappear. And during my escape in the northern mountains of Nerim, I also had them for the first time, the dreams. I always saw the same glaring, terrible light. Heard screaming, and I felt like I was burning up from the inside. And above all, like a veil, there was the knowledge of imminence. At first, of course, I dismissed these dreams as the delusion of a man close to death. So I concentrated on making it through the mountains somehow. 2 days after my escape, I was completely exhausted, and I would have died if a former acolyte of my son had not found me. Yes, but he did not recognize me, and brought me to their headquarters instead, an old monastery in the mountains. The others were aware of my identity, but for whatever reason they did not kill me. Maybe because they thought that the death of the Lightborn had made me insignificant. I do not know. Still, even after my recovery, the dreams continued. At first, I doubted my sanity, but after some time I told the leader of the mages, Constantine, about them. And he said something that I'd never expected. I was not alone. He, as well as many others magically gifted on Vin, dreamed the same dreams. And the more we talked about the matter, the stronger our suspicion grew, which has now turned out to be the truth. The dreams, they come from the same place. They are a shared memory. A collective subconscious. Yes, I know that you can feel it too, and probably far more intense than we do. But like you back then, we were not able to make sense of the images. So we went looking for answers in the remains of the civilization that was before us, the Pyreans. 3 things. First, there were many civilizations before us and before the Pyreans. Maybe hundreds, maybe thousands. Second, the history of each civilization unfolded and still unfolds according to a pattern. They emerge, they blossom, and at some point, at the apex of their existence, they simply disappear without any trace. And third, everything that has happened in the past years, and which is still happening, indicates that this disappearance lies ahead of us. We are part of an eternal loop, a cycle, and our cycle is approaching its end. I see why you would say that, and I've felt the same way for a very long time too. But there came a moment when we simply could not deny it anymore. We began to study the history of the Pyreans more intensely, and the parallels were extraordinary. In its early days, the Pyrean Empire was split up by a disaster, just like Vin was split up by the Starfall after the reign of the Eterna. Also, the Pyreans had a ruling caste who declared themselves gods after the catastrophe. The 2 castes of the Sun Priest. They, too, ruled until they were overthrown. This overthrowing was followed by an outbreak of wars and chaos. And then, just like that, the Pyreans ceased to exist. They knew it was imminent, but they could not prevent it. They called this event the Cleansing. They tried, but they failed. Who knows why? Maybe they found out too late, or maybe they were too weak. That is the question we need to find an answer to. The end was not violent, at least not in a sense as we know it. There was no natural disaster, no magical explosion, no plague. Even though there was war in the Pyrean Empire before its ruin, when the cleansing happened, it was as if all living beings simply fell down and died. It is ghastly. Well, this is the reason why we need your help. Not only episodes of history recur within every cycle, characters do as well. Yes, the Pyreans call them the emissaries. They emerge very shortly before the cleansing occurs, like a law of nature, an answer to the Red Madness. And I am one of them, as are you. While I take on the role of the ruler, you take on the role of the prophet. It's just a description. Call it what you will. But without doubt, it is the truth. Your story matches the descriptions perfectly. No, as I already said, the emissaries simply appear at the beginning of the end, like pieces on a chessboard. We are determined by our skills. How and to what end we use them is our choice. Yes, former enemies or not, both sides have understood the magnitude of the threat. The magical knowledge of Narazul's former mages is vast, as is the power of the Holy Order. Even though not all of the Keepers agree, as you probably have already noted yourself. I do not know. Firespark the Mage has told me your story, and even though your fate is tragic, unlike me, you were insignificant before your change. So maybe everyone can become an emissary, or we simply have not understood the pattern yet. On the one hand, your power. You carry the potential to master any skill within a fraction of the usual time needed. I assume you have already realized this. On the other hand, your ability to look into the past, and therefore into the future. Your visions are a window into the past, and as every cycle is based on the same events, it is a window into the future as well. You can feel the thread this world is woven with, and because of that, you can see things that have happened, and thus will happen again. This gift makes you indispensable to us, and it is why I want your help. That is the wrong question. The correct question is, what alternative do we have? To wait and die? Good. However, there's one more thing before the actual work begins. I want you to join our order, and to do so, you have to pass a test. A trial. It is. Whatever you think about our story, we are the only faction that is strong enough to oppose the cycle. If you want to be part of our mission, you need to have access to our knowledge and resources. There will be voices in the Order speaking against your admission, as they are speaking against the presence of the Neremese mages. Consider it an honor or a necessity. It is up to you. It is the trial the novices have to pass in order to be exalted to the role of a keeper. Only the best students of the Squalor are allowed admission, and even though you have not been a novice, I want you to take it too. At this very moment, 2 novices are on their way to the testing grounds. I have informed them about your arrival. I have only a slight acquaintance with them. However, I know that they are both very talented and have been working hard toward the test. But see them for yourself. I had a hunch. Let us leave it at that. At the border to the Heartland, near the Whisper Wood, they will be waiting for you there. Take the Myret, talk to Signet Master Bartar, and hand him this package. And then follow his orders. Ah, one more thing. It might be self-evident, but keep your knowledge about the death of the Lightborn to yourself. I do not believe you can do any real harm, but in the worst case, path-abiding people will consider you a heretic. After the cycle has been stopped, we will deliberate upon how we deal with the matter. If and how we tell our people about it. But not now, that is for sure. Now, leave. The sooner we can dispense with this formality, the better. Walk blessed, Prophet. Yes. Why do you ask? They did. What are you getting at? A fair point. But in the future, just be upfront. So, yes, my time in the prison was harsh. Ironically enough, that was the last thing I had expected, you know. From all the suffering there is, it seems so. For me, it was memories of the time before my incarceration. They reminded me that I was more than this deprived creature. I especially felt that in the cloister with Narazul's mages. I had difficulty talking to other people, and whenever I did, it felt as if the others were better. Our mission, my responsibility here as a leader, it has helped me to... What would have been the alternative? A life as a fisherman? If the things I... In fact, this is precisely what is missing in the world. People who do not let the whims of fate break their reason. Yes. That depends on whom you ask. A better word would be chess figures with their own will. Whatever force causes the cycle also gave us powers and a task. But fulfilling that, well, that is something else we only know in broad strokes. Yours is to read the Echo and help us gain the knowledge we need for victory. How exactly you're going to... I do not know. But there are hints. We will see. No. Good question. In their writing, the Pyreans say it has existed for aeons. Since this world exists, since the Sea of Eventualities exists, so too then does the cycle. It seems to be the Pyreans didn't, and neither did the dozen civilizations that came before. But as for what happened before that, our knowledge about the past is limited. All that a better word would be chess figures with their own will. Whatever force causes the cycle.
This is holy ground, Outlander. You don't belong.